Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speedrunners Arena. I am Cheese Reaver, and I will be your commentator and restreamer this evening. We have ourselves a four-way, or I guess two 1v1s, Nasarius v Tilimorf, and Aerumnus versus Prankard. Unfortunately, due to someone changing the stream keys on the profiles on the stream bot, who I have to find out and murder later, we are starting a little late, so I am not going to do too much of an intro. We're just gonna switch over, and yeah. Alright, there we go. Hello, music. Hello, everyone in chat. I'm Cheese. Thank you, Reem, for offering to track, because originally I was just gonna do all of it myself, and that's a terrible idea. No one should actually do that. Let me turn off the background music. Turn on a player audio. Turn way down a player audio. Okay, that's probably a little better. Hopefully. Hopefully the sound is okay. Whoa. Is it me, or is Prankard? I'm confused. Give me just a second, Reem. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's just a delay. I'm not sure. Sorry, I haven't seen what's going on because I'm trying to fix things. And I still need to send a tracker key out. Oh. Okay. Cool. Awesome. That was very confusing for a minute there. Trackers. Tracker key. Just a moment, and I will send that to you, Reem. And sorry about this, everybody. Weird stuff all kind of happening very late in the game, causing a few issues, but I didn't want to hold up the race. Let me send this message. Alright, Reem, I DM'd you the tracker link. And there we go. Alright. So, what has happened? Our runners have found super missiles and power bombs and an energy tank, and Billy Mays is an energy tank and some more super missiles. Looks like all of them have actually done the same stuff thus far, so should be good to go. And what is going on now? Why aren't you pulling the correct? Why are you doing this to me? some reason, the tracker is not loading properly on players 1 and 2, even though it's being tracked properly. Yeah, I'm working on it, but it's not working. Okay, I need to find out who was the last person to use this conversation with. Okay, there we go. Looks like I didn't see what was a construction zone. Looks like grapple probably, and super missiles underneath Old Mother Brain. Right, but I have separate profiles set up for SRA1 and SRA2, but somebody put the SRA2 key and the SRA2 trackers on the SRA1 profile. That's where my issue's coming in. But we'll deal with that later. Alright, after a successful climb from our top 2 runners, both of our bottom 2 runners now in the climb. And Bomb to Rizzo is just a pack of missiles. Nasarius is going to go ahead and pick those up, which, considering that's the first missiles we've seen, I totally agree with picking them up. Meanwhile, we've got our Prankard making his way out of the climb. And looks like, at least early on, probably all of our runners are going to take approximately the same route. Prankard goes into 230, but then realizes he is out of power bombs and will not be able to check. As Aerumnus picks up those regular missiles at BT, and Prankard is also going to make his way down there. Meanwhile, Nasarius made his way out to the ship for more for the refill, but probably took a save while he was at it, and Tilimorf is doing the same. So thus far, not really any divergence from by our players, but not really a big deal. And Nasarius checks 230 missiles and just finds a Kappa tank. Early on, only has 2 E-tanks, so goes ahead and picks it up. As Aerumnus finds another E-tank at Terminator. Thus far, with these early checks, pretty healthy. Not much going on in the major item category, as the morphing ball is our only major item that's been found thus far. But excluding E-tanks. Yeah. Skipping 230 for Aerumnus and missing the reserve tank, I expect is not going to be an issue. But not checking construction zone behind the morph pedestal and not having that grapple beam. That grapple beam could be their logic to get to wreck ship. That opens up X-ray. And looks like we've got bombs at the back of Gauntlet. Nasarius doing the quick peek on that. As Aerumnus is our first runner into Greenbryn and finds super missiles under the Crumble Bridge. And I expect we will see him hop out of the room and then go back in and try and get the mock ball here. And gets it that time, no problem. And we will get to see what is at the Bryn Reserve area. We've got missiles, a meme beam, aka the Spacer, which, since our runners do not have plasma yet, Spacer is definitely a worthy pickup. It, of course, gets consumed by plasma. And another E-tank at the Ron Popeil item, which is, once again, this is a very healthy early seed. All of our runners sitting on at least 3 E-tanks. Meanwhile, we have Prankard doing a backup gauntlet check, and we'll see the bombs there. And vanilla supers at early supers. Next up, I expect we will see our runners do Eticunes, and Aerumnus is going to make a liar out of me and not do so. I'm a little surprised Aerumnus didn't go left and farm up some power bombs. And that looks like that's what he's doing right now. Because even if you're gonna skip Eticunes, you want some power bombs to deal with Big Pink. Right, and Nasarius finds ice at Eticunes E-Tank. That is a nice beam. And Vanilla Supers at Eticunes Supers. That is true. Nasarius versus Tilimorf is a rematch of our mouse bracket finals last year. Meanwhile, as far as I know, Prankard and Aerumnus have never raced each other. Alright, Nasarius will be the first to get to Eticunes power bombs, and it is another E-Tank. Nasarius up to 5 E-Tanks plus a reserve. A lot of health here in the early game. 5 E-Tanks plus a reserve, and none of our runners have made it to Big Pink yet. That is, they are going to be some healthy Samuses. Nasarius will be our first runner to make their way into Big Pink. Only has 3 power bombs coming in, so we'll have to be a little careful with power bomb usage. Prankard picks up that ice beam. Now all of our runners are equipped with that ice beam. Not quite, Reem. 2 of the energy tanks that all of our runners have came out of Billy Mays. So Gravity Suit would definitely put Fantoon in logic, but Varia would not without either Gravity or Space Jump to put Billy Mays in logic. But Fantoon would be in logic E-Tank wise, just not with where the E-Tanks have been thus far. Alright, we've got missiles at charge missiles, super missiles at charge beam. I did not see what was at Mission Impossible. But it looks like Aerumnus is about to make that check, so I'll be able to find out in just a moment here. And another E-Tank. And Nasarius goes for the Spore Spawn skip and gets it no problem. We will see what the true DLC boss, Spore Spawn, has today. And it is just a pack of regular missiles. Nasarius debates it for a moment and decides to go ahead and pick them up. And our top 2 runners are going to high five here in this pre-Spore Spawn Supers room that, as far as I know, doesn't really have a name. Aerumnus sets up for the Spore Spawn skip. Didn't quite get the pixel. Looks like you got it that second try. And Nasarius gets the wave gate first try, no problem. Ooh, and that's a speed booster behind the wave gate. That's always a very nice thing to find. Yeah, definitely. If our runners can do that wave gate glitch, we'll be very much rewarded in this seed by that speed booster. So now with speed and ice, our top 2 runners have the 2 most common methods to get to Bot Wound in Meridia. And looks like neither of our Aerumnus has decided to not go for the wave gate glitch. I mean, it's out of logic, so. To be fair, at this point, it's really only speed and a couple of the E-tanks they have that are out of logic. A surprising number of things, mostly because they haven't found a whole lot, are still in logic. Meanwhile, we'll see if Prankard decides to head up for the wave gate, and he does. And Nasarius decided to head down Red Tower, did not stop at X-Ray, even though he has that grapple, which is in logic. And meanwhile, looks like Tilly is going to head up Red Tower. We're going to have our first true divergence in the seed. Thus far, our runners have really taken pretty much the same path. And Aerumnus farms up a power bomb, so might be going for X-Ray, or nope, it's just going to head up Red Tower. Just wanted that power bomb for probably exiting. Looked like Spacer was just some ammo of some variety. I think it was supers. Tilly unfortunately lays the power bomb at Alpha PBs a little too early, and will not actually break that wall down. Our runner's really having some power bomb issues. Tilly goes, farms up another one, and is rewarded with just a pack of missiles back there. So not the greatest reward, but you need a certain number of missiles. Meanwhile, we have Nasarius heading into Kraid, setting up for the quick kill. And looks like Prankard will be our first runner to actually go visit X-Ray. Oh, Nasarius doesn't quite get the pixel, or may have actually gotten the pixel, but Kojak that first super into Kraid's eye. Tilly gonna check beta power bombs. And we'll find another E-tank. Meanwhile, Prankard getting trolled pretty hard by X-Ray. The waivers there in X-Ray can be quite mean. And Nasarius finds gravity. That gravity's not quite in logic yet. We do not have any up logic to get to Kraid. But Nasarius has a few more checks to make here, and our runners that decided to go up Red Tower will also make a few checks. Though it looks like Aerumnus decided to, after checking the top of Red Tower, head down and not try to head over towards the wreck ship. Of course, Aerumnus, our only runner that did not check construction zone and find the grapple beam early on, so it doesn't have a great way across the moat. And there, Nasarius finds the wave beam, which would put the speed booster in logic, which means we're almost assured to have some up logic at high jump boots. Yeah, that lup logic and the lound logic, they're both extremely important in SMRAT. Alright, and looks like Nasarius is going to go ahead and do the high jump check, which this should be some up logic. Unless I'm forgetting about a location. Saw 2 ammo packs, and high jump itself is some supers. Oh, that's true. Ocean and Spooky are still within logic. Well, since we've seen Ocean, which was just another E-Tank. Once again, a lot of early E-Tanks. I think Spooky now has to be up logic. That is true in Varial. The problem is Wave itself is not in logic because they don't have up logic to get to Kraid. Tilly did not check Spooky. Oh, Tilly only has one power bomb. Going for the speedball. And Nasarius gonna use that speed booster to his advantage and check the corner of Bubble Mountain as Aerumnus takes on Kraid and unfortunately does not quite get the pixel for the quick kill. So we're gonna see another Kraid stand up. As some would call it, the intended kill method of Kraid. And, Prankard does the 2-missile 3 super setup for Kraid quick kill and murders Kraid. And we have a boss. So, both of our bottom runners finding their gravity suits within an item fanfare of each other. As Tilimorf takes on the Elephant Ghost. And now here, I actually expect I was about to say I expect we'll see Nasarius not check Meridia, but I'm already being proven wrong. Though he could just be using Meridia as a bypass, as a quicker way up Red Tower. Gonna blind check Main Street, and the Main Street blind check. Wow. As Tilimorf finishes off the Elephant Ghost, and Prankard and Aerumnus both find the Wave Beam at the Frog Pocket. So for 3 items, Kraid doing work today. 3 items being Gravity, Wave, and I think it was an E-Tank. The one thing is Nasarius does not have a great way up worst room in the game. Doesn't have charge for the ice strats. Doesn't have bombs, high jump, or space jump. So if Nasarius decides to go there, that will be a thing. That Verifine does definitely, I will say, put Nasarius probably in the lead, unless all of the worst room in the game items are here in Wreck Ship, because there's a decent chance we see Tilimorf full clear Wreck Ship. And there are high jump boots for Nasarius, which I expect will be his worst room in the game item. So knowing the skill level of Nasarius and Tilimorf, skill-wise they are very close. As I said earlier, this is a rematch of last year's Mouse Bracket Final. I'm going to give Nasarius a pretty large lead here now, just because having both suits, speed booster, and high jump to get through worst room in the game, that's a powerful combo, and unfortunately Tilly is here at the top of Wreck Ship, where, don't get me wrong, there's still some good items he could find, but none of them are quite Varia and high jump boots. That is true. Nasarius finally found a second pack of power bombs at the Crumble Shaft, which is weirdly late. Did Tilly not check Spooky on the way back up? No, okay, so we have not seen Spooky yet. Aerumnus is doing the hell runs to get to ice, which, ooh, that energy is pretty Monka-S. I think he's gonna make it out, but he's not gonna have much. Only 19 energy remaining. Aerumnus does make it out of the ice beam hell run and gets those high jump boots. Tilly checks wreck ship reserve, and I believe that was just a reserve tank. And did Prankard check Main Street yet? I'm gonna guess not. E-tank, or may not have enough health to spark Main Street. He's gonna check Mama Turtle. Finds an E-tank and some missiles. Meanwhile, while I was talking about other things, Nasarius successfully did the gravity jump lava dive and is now going through pillars, headed towards the worst room in the game. And Tilly is headed towards bowling. Even with those reserves, I don't know that that's enough health to get that Varia suit. Oh, it is, and Prankard is our second runner to receive the Varia suit. And I'm not sure if those are shakes of anger or shakes of joy. Could be either. Nasarius heading through the Three Amigos. Isn't real worried about health right now. Has plenty, plus both suits. And looks like Prankard is going to do some gravity jumping, trying to get up Everest and over towards either the beach or towards Aqueduct. But is not going to... doesn't have enough health to Shine Spark it. Yeah, so unfortunately, Tilimorf not really finding much of anything here in the wrecked ship. But we have still not seen spooky missiles, which I'm pretty sure has to be space jump at this point. I think that's the only up logic left that we don't know the location of. We saw bombs at the back of Gauntlet. A couple of the runners did the early Gauntlet peak. Looks like Tilly is probably setting up either for a Gauntlet spark or probably going to spark up to Criteria power bombs and then possibly head through the Gauntlet, though still only has 5 power bombs. In fact, Nasarius is our only runner that has found more than 1 pack of power bombs. And looks like Tilly was going for the, was going to head over to Gauntlet, but then realized he only had that 1 pack of power bombs. And looks like Prankard is going to go into one of the Sandfall rooms to, I assume this is just to farm up. Just unfortunately, Prankard's health situation is pretty ghastly. Meanwhile, Nasarius taking on the Space Pelican. Gets a nice opening pogo pattern. And is able to get that left side spot where you can just pound Ridley with supers. Oh, and Ridley goes right back into a right side pogo pattern, which is amazing. That is exactly what you want. And that is 1 dead Pelican for Nasarius. Meanwhile, Prankard has sparked up to Aqueduct, finds missiles and supers. Almost decides not to pick up those supers, but then probably remembers he does not have that charge beam. looks like Aerumnus is trying to set up for the CWJ. Did Aerumnus turn off high jump boots? Oh, must have. Oh, got the frame, and actually got the jump. I'm not 100% certain how he didn't make it all the way across. I've never seen that. I thought once you got the jump, you were clear, but I guess not quite. Gets it a second time, and gets the CWJ across the moat. As Prankard kills off the Sneck. Until he finds supers here at the front of Gauntlet, and we know the back of Gauntlet is bombs, and I think another pack of supers. It's definitely bombs and some ammunition of some variety. Grapple was at Construction Zone, the item just to the left of the Morph Pedestal. And Aerumnus had the power bombs, but I believe checked 230 instead. Is that enough ammo for Nasarius to be in full go mode? Is 20 and 70 enough? He might need like one more pack of ammo. Oh no, you're right, with ice, assuming Nasarius being one of our finalists from the mouse bracket last year. Ooh, and there's a plasma beam. And it was, in fact, space jump at spooky missiles. Aerumnus proving that we can, in fact, read logic sometimes. I think 2070 is enough, because 4060 is enough. And all super missiles, a super missile pack counts as 3 packs of regular missiles, so it should be enough. And oh, Tilly going for climb supers, and Nasarius finds another pack of power bombs. Still our only runner to have picked up more than one pack. And Tilly is our next runner to find another pack of power bombs here at Climb Supers. Was probably hoping that was a suit, but you know what? When you've only got 5 power bombs, you take another pack. You're unfortunately, for Tilly, down was definitely the play here. Assuming you could get up to Kraid, find that gravity suit. He did get the speed booster out of Big Pink, and then Varia being at Main Street. Meanwhile, we have a dead shrimp in the bottom right-hand corner for Prankard, as Aerumnus is taking on the Ghost. As about to be where both of our bottom 2 runners have 2 bosses down, but I would give Prankard the lead, with considering which bosses he has down, as well as that Varia suit. And the Elephant Ghost goes down on Aerumnus' side. Oh, you're right. Aerumnus doesn't have speed. Aerumnus did not do the wave gate glitch. And has not been back there since he found the wave beam. It looks like we're going to get a waterway check here out of Tilimorf. Not in logic for him, but is in logic in the grand scheme of things. And just a pack of missiles. Oh, that's true. Aerumnus not having speed is even more painful because of the Varia location being speed locked. At this point, yes, I'd say that's safe to say that charge is somewhere probably out of the way. Either in the beach watering hole area, could be at one of the sand pits, could be at Shack Tool. We didn't see very much of anything in Upper Norfair. Crockemeier's still in play. Like there's plenty of places that that charge could be. And barring one of our runners taking an unusual route at this point, I don't expect any of our runners will find it. The plasma location, yeah, there's just so many places charge can be. But the seed has been generous enough with ammunition that the lack of charge shouldn't end up being a major factor. And we've got Tilimorf going to be the next runner to do the X-ray check. As Prankard finds a pack of power bombs at the right sand pit and decides to go ahead and pick them up and keep them. Which, considering how stingy the seed has been with power bombs, I totally understand and agree with that. Nasarius puts down the sea snake. Charge can, in fact, be in the Gold Teresa area, and that is another location that we did not see, and it could totally be there. Charge is one of the few items that can be literally at any location, because it does not logically lock anything. So it could be anywhere. Alright. So we've got Tilimorf finally making his way down Red Tower towards Spazer, and eventually I expect towards Kraid, where he will find that gravity suit post-Kraid. True, but it is not the single item that locks anything. Alright, Precious is just missiles. Nasarius heads into the shrimp fight. Tilly charges a spark and sparks across the gap towards Kraid. And are we going to see a Shine Spark kill here from Nasarius, or is he going to switch to that grapple beam? Looks like he's going for the Shine Spark kill. Gets a nice opening out of it. I was just doing that to augment the quick grapple. And finishes off the shrimp with a little quick fry. And doesn't even want to check what is at Space Jump. Is just entirely unconcerned. We've got Aerumnus in the robot room, sees missiles, and decides to not continue in that room. And Tilimorf going to be our final runner to take on Kraid. Thus far, we are 1 for 3 on Kraid quick kills. So let's see, and Tilly makes us 2 for 2 here on Kraid quick kills. And picks up that gravity suit at the very location, and we'll be able to find a wave at the frog pocket. As Aerumnus picks up the best item in the game, the spring ball. Get your Peepo SBs out. And once again, the Sky Missiles has a very important item. Prankard has completed the lava dive with the gravity jump and is going to head down into Lower Norfair. And Tilly picks up that wave beam, which puts that speed booster in logic. Though Tilly does not have the high jump boots yet to put the whole shebang in logic. Or, sorry, it would actually be Space Jump, which Tilly skipped in Wreck Ship. Yes. Prankard is the only one without a worshroom in the game item, and ice, unfortunately, without charge, you cannot actually freeze the. You can't freeze the gold pirates without charge. So Prankard heading into the worst room in the game might be trying for the frame / pixel perfect jump. This seed was definitely could easily be decided by up or down red tower. And I mean, that is unfortunate, but it's one of the things that decides lots of races, up or down. And in this one, down was definitely the way that you wanted to go. And Tilly went up, which at the point where they made it to red tower, considering the number of E-tanks they had and that grapple beam. What Prankard does now realizes that without charge, he cannot freeze the gold pirates. And we are being raided by Incroyable. Incroyable, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. This is a Swiss Round 5 match. We've got Nasarius versus Tilimorf in a rematch from last year's Mouse Bracket Finals, and Aerumnus versus Prankard. Alright, Nasarius going to take on his final boss here in the Elephant Ghost Fantoon. Barring disaster, Nasarius is going to have a really nice time on this seed. I'm sure he's had a nice time thus far, considering everything he's found, but the actual timing of the seed, he's going to complete it quite quickly. I think it'll be above 50. Generally, from Turian's going to take about 10-ish minutes. Or maybe that's vanilla Turian, because Rando Turian is a little faster. We'll see, but it's going to be a really good time. Tilly has now collected both suits and is going to head down towards Lower Norfair. Does have both Spring Ball and bombs. And Nasarius finishes off the Elephant Ghost Fantoon. Welcome, Vixen Gamer. You are completely new to SM speedrunning. So what this is a full item randomizer, which means we took all of the items in the game and mixed them up and put them in different places. But there is a logic to how it's done. Certain items can only be or can't be hidden in certain locations. You can never be forced to go through a heated room without Various Suit, or to go into Meridia without Gravity Suit, things like that. And then our runners race it, and they all 4 of our runners are running the same seed, which means their item layouts that they find within the game are the same. And the SMRAT logic specifically, as Nightbot says, the only tricks required to be able to complete a seed are wall jumping, vertical shine sparking, and being able to infinite bomb jump. So let's see, we've got Nasarius headed towards the ship. I'm sure we'll see a refill just due to that ammo prior to heading towards Turian. Tilimorf taking the taking the elevator. An elevator and a ladder are not, in fact, the same thing. Down to Lower Norfair. Aerumnus is checking X-ray here, which I believe was just some ammunition. Oh no, sorry, it's an E-tank. And Prankard is looking for a worst room in the game item. Doesn't have bombs, doesn't have space jump, doesn't have high jump. High jump was at ice. Space jump is at the spooky missiles in wrecked ship, and bombs are at the back of gauntlet. Speed was at the wave gate. Alright, Tilly trying to clear out worst room in the game of the pirates. And then we're either going to see... Looks like Tilly is going to go for a spring ball jump, which is a neat piece of tech. Due to the quirky mechanics of spring ball, if you are still moving upward in a morphed position, like from a jump or a wall jump, and you have spring ball off, and then you pause in the middle of that while still having upward momentum, and turn spring ball back on, it gives you a spring ball jump. Like, you get to jump from that point. Tilly was going to try to do it. It's really hard to do off a wall just because of the number of buttons you have to press, one of them being pause in the middle of everything. So Tilly has abandoned the spring ball jump and is instead doing the infinite bomb jump up worst room in the game. Meanwhile, Nasarius is done with Metroid rooms at 44-49. Nasarius just on a blazing pace, but really Nasarius found everything he could have wanted in this seed kind of as fast as possible. I mean, he played this seed and made the absolute correct checks the whole time. He just killed it. Yeah, I mean, it would be, if this were a spoiler log race, you'd have had a hard time routing it any better than Nasarius did. Meanwhile, Aerumnus gets the E-Tank out of Mama Turtle and finds the missiles in the wall. I'm not sure if Aerumnus has seen the Various suit yet. We know that the Various suit is at Main Street in Meridia and requires Speed Booster to get, and Speed Booster is behind the Wave Gate in Big Pink. And looks like Prankard remembers where the bombs are from the very early check of the back of Gauntlet. Is going to go grab those as his worst room in the game item. As Tilly finds just missiles at Power Bombs of Shame, and is going to head down towards the Carl Douglas room, where in fact everyone is Kung Fu fighting. But when you're fast enough, in fact as fast as lightning, you can just murder them all. Alright, we've got Nasarius on Mother Brain 1. And looks to be only a couple missiles away. That's Mother Brain 1 done for Nasarius. As Prankard picks up those bombs, which he will likely use as his worst room in the game item to get through Lower Norfair. I did not see what Aerumnus found at the beach item, but he's also headed over towards Watering Hole. As Nasarius fills Mother Brain 2's face with super missiles, Tilimorf is going to start filling Ridley's face with super missiles. And hey, there are some of those power bombs that we've been missing all seed. A double pack of power bombs here at the Watering Hole for Aerumnus. And Nasarius gets rainbow beamed and is now in the Mother Brain cutscene. As Ridley explodes on Tilimorph's screen. That is one super dead pelican. Is Prankard gonna head over towards wreck ship, I guess? Looks like it. So going for the ocean fly. I don't know if that super was shot at quite the right moment. I don't know the exact moment. Oh, gets the full ocean fly. Well done by Prankard. That is not a super easy trick to do. The timing on that missile, on that super missile, is pretty precise. So Prankard with the swag, and Prankard not going to check spooky missiles, which we know is, in fact, the space jump. Actually, only one of our runners checked spooky missiles. That is Aerumnus, and so only one runner got space jump. And unfortunately, the baby Metroid has died on Nasarius' screen, but now Samus is super mad and is going to shoot Mother Brain in her stupid face with a rainbow beam 36 times to make her turn to dust. Take that, Mother Brain. That's what you get for killing the baby. Samus is super mad. And that is Mother Brain 3 for Nasarius. Nasarius now only has the escape to go. Alright. Meanwhile, we've got Prankard taking on the Elephant Ghost Fantoon. Going for the Doppler strats. Of course, when you don't have Charge Beam, those are just the strats, I suppose. I guess, unless you're going to go for Nintendo Power strats. That's, of course, always an option. Yeah, this is going to be a really good time for Nasarius. Really just read this seed and like a book. Tilly checking a few items on the way out of Lower Norfair. Doesn't want to damage boost through the Three Musketeers, or at least not through the first one. Just the health looking a little low, but Tilly's fine. Nasarius in the last real room, that being the parlor, here during the escape. I'm not actually certain what the fastest seed in the tournament was. And Fantoon goes down for Prankard, and Nasarius has dot done in first place with a 51.04. GG to Nasarius. I will see if he would like to come in for an interview. For all I know, he's already in the green room. He's not, so I don't have to feel bad about that. But major GG, Nasarius just really read this seed like a book. And that was a really, really good time. Almost a sub 51 is kind of crazy. But it's alright, we still have 3 other runners. Aerumnus trying to get the ice clip towards Botwoon. Unfortunately kills off that last mock droid, so we'll have to reset the room. We've got Prankard, who just popped into wreck ship, murdered Fantoon, and leaves. Prankard is in go mode, probably wants a little more ammo, but has a workroom in the game item in those bombs. Let's see. We've got Tilimorf doing some gravity jumps here in Meridia. Would probably normally just try to Shine Spark this, but with only 20 energy, Shine Sparking is not going to work. As Aerumnus is trying to set up for the ice clip to Botwoon. Looks like he got the right positioning on the mock droid, but unfortunately left the mock droid's hitbox. Tilly almost makes that gravity jump. Oh, looks like Nasarius is in the green room, so let me pull him in, or someone else will do it for me. We are joined. Oh, yeah, let me change soundtracks, that way just in case. That's not the right one. That's probably the right one. Welcome, Nasarius.
Hey,
GG.
thanks. Yeah, that's the luckiest I've been by a lot.
You, whether it was luck or you read that seed like a book, I mean, you basically, someone with a spoiler log would have had a hard time routing that seed any better than you did.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it felt like. So basically, early
Wait,
on,
one sec. Do we still have dead audio, or did that fix itself? Can I get a... We're fine? Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Nasarius.
okay, so yeah, so I thought early on the seed was pointing to wreck ship pretty strongly with like 1,000,000 E-tanks and grapple. So I thought if the only way I can beat Tilimorf is by doing something else. So I did the total galaxy brain thing of not going to wreck ship and going down. And yeah, finding gravity, and then it just went from there.
Yeah, the gravity straight into gravity to wave straight to Main Street, finding that very galaxy braining high jump there at ice. Just
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you killed it, man. You did a 5104. That's a serious time.
because I paused for a second, realizing I didn't have an item for worst room in the game. So then I said, okay, I'll do some more checks. And right there, just high jump boots. And then I was thinking, okay, I don't have enough power bombs. I only have 5 power bombs. I probably need another pack for lower warfare. Next item is power bomb pack. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Actually, this seed was pretty stingy with the power bomb packs. At least early on. I mean, almost everybody had 5 until you found that one extra pack. And then a few other packs have been found, but just in general, the seed was very stingy with power bombs. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Charge was apparently at Croc. Space Jump was at Spooky Missiles, which, oddly enough, only one of our runners found, even though more than one of our runners cleared wreck ship first. Tilly had a power bomb problem when he made it to wreck ship, so he skipped Spooky and just never went back. And that Space Jump, obviously, it's Space Jump. It's an important, or it's a very nice item to have.
Did anyone check waterway?
Tilly did.
Okay.
Before he found his gravity suit. Tilly went up Red Tower, full cleared wreck ship, just completely. Went to Gauntlet, checked Criterion power bombs, checked X-ray on the way down, checked waterway on the way down. Pretty much last location that gravity suit behind Kraid.
Yeah, I think that's basically the correct route with the seed. If you go by the hints of grapple and a bunch of E-tanks, you do wreck ship.
Logically, we're supposed to go there, find that space jump, then immediately leave, and go take on Kraid, and then kind of do a very similar route to where you ended up going from that point, with speed hidden behind the wave gate, and yeah, it was a seed. But as I've said many a time, I could only roll troll seeds and jet seeds. Those are the only 2 options. And this one seems like it's very... Both. Yeah, this one's both. If you read it perfectly, it could obviously be a very, very quick seed. But if you miss just one of the pieces, you could be looking for a worst room in the game item for quite a little while.
Sure.
Alright, Tilly finishes off his last boss, kills Dragon. Aerumnus is about to find the speed booster there at Wave. And Prankard is heading through the amphitheater, what many would consider to be the actual worst room in the game. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's one of the most deadly rooms in the game. But yeah, Nasarius, you are, of course, welcome to stick around if you'd like to, and, wait until Tilly finishes and y'all can talk it out. Or if you're tired of hearing me talk, you're free to leave.
No, I'll head out. Thanks.
No, alright, well, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and GG, and congratulations on the win, and welcome to 3 and 2.
Yeah, thanks.
And as is being posted in the chat, please do give these runners a follow. As I like to say, they race video games on the internet for your entertainment for free. So the least you can do is give them a follow. It'll make their day. I promise you, every time I've gotten a new follower, it's made me a little happier that day. That being said, don't follow me. It's not worth it. But do follow our tracker, Reem Octorus. Reem signed up kind of last minute to track, and I truly appreciate it, especially with some of the small tech issues we had early on. This would have been pretty... it's been rough to have to also try to track. Yeah, this was originally a six-way, but I believe one of our runners had to take a rain check, which is fine. Solo commentating a six-way is not the kind of thing that I want to do with my life. I've done that once before, and I don't have any intentions to ever do it again. Alright, meanwhile, on screen, we've got Tilly heading out of Meridia, Prankard taking on the Pelican, and Aerumnus headed down towards, I have to expect towards Meridia to grab that Varia suit out of Main Street. Prankard getting trolled a little bit with these, with the non-pogo patterns by Ridley. Manipulating Ridley to keep pogoing is not easy. And we are being raided by Speedruns Live. Welcome, raiders. Thank you, Speedruns Live, for the raid. You are catching I guess I would call it probably the tail end of a four-way race. Between this, we had Nasarius versus Tilimorf and Aerumnus versus Prankard here in the SMRAT Swiss Round 5. As Prankard finishes off Ridley, the Space Pelican has exploded, and there are some super missiles back there. Tilly going to do a refill at the ship before heading towards Turian. Aerumnus gets the Shine Spark in Main Street and now is the proud owner of a Varia suit. That, of course, will protect him from any heat damage and mostly protect him from spikes and other environmental options. Alright. So, it looks like Aerumnus is probably going to head towards Dragon first. Meanwhile, we have Tilly heading into Turian, and Prankard also has to head towards Turian, but it'll be a little longer. Well, we appreciate the raid there, the real Gerbo, and I hope the weekly Multitroid race went well. Alright, we've got Aerumnus checking the aqueduct, which I believe was missiles and supers. Tilly about to enter Metroid Room 1. Let's see. Ooh, gets caught, but has bombs, so getting caught there, not as big of a deal, and is able to easily dislodge the Metroids. And is still able to make good time there in Metroid Room 1. Metroid Room 2, no muss, no fuss. Metroid Room 3, I was reading something else and it already happened. And Metroid Room 4 here for Tilly. Leaves the Metroid rooms with perfect ammunition. Absolutely. Alright, Prankard's health is a little bit Monka-esque here at the Three Musketeers. Makes it out, but is going to enter a Firefly room with only 50 health. Ooh, and then takes a hit from a spike. I don't remember what was here at Fireflies. It's supers, which is unfortunately not what Prankard needed there. He would have really, really appreciated an energy tank. Tilimorf facing right after being grabbed by the baby. The objectively correct choice, saving those 40 frames, looking back at all of the frames that he saved throughout this race. I'm receiving a phone call. I will be right back.
Stepping in temporarily for Cheese. Hi, I'm Invarial, and Prankard is trying to make blind wall jumps to get out of this room, while Aerumnus is heading through the save and likely to the energy refill for Dragon. Saving before Dragon is a good call. Tilimorf is through the Zebatites and is going to start in on Mother Brain in just a moment here. Prankard's energy situation is very dire, as has already been mentioned. These Namihe flames could be forced reset. And Prankard is going to check jail, while Mother Brain 1 is down for Tilimorf. Aerumnus sees precious missiles, decides not to pick them up, and is getting ready to start Dragon, while Tilimorf starts in on Mother Brain Phase 2. A small energy drop for Prankard brings the health situation to 37, and hopefully this is an energy tank. It's plasma, not an energy tank. But that will mean damage to the Three Musketeers. Oh, it was an E in jail. Apologies. It looked like a powerbomb pack. An E in jail is going to put Prankard into a much better situation than hoping that there are no swoops. And Prankard is going to pick that up. Tilimorf is through Mother Brain 2, delays the Hyper Beam with a Power Bomb, with another Power Bomb, just playing with Mother Brain right now. And Aerumnus is going for that Dragon kill. And there it is. There it is. Prankard in a much better health situation. And 4 bosses down. Aerumnus takes Dragon down and only has Ridley left. And the top race is going to be officially done in just a moment. Well, about 3.5 minutes. Less than that. A cutscene plus an escape, in any event. Prankard, no longer worried about health, will just face tank the Three Musketeers. And Aerumnus collects the precious missiles. 50-55, I'm guessing, is a much better ammo situation than 45-55.
It is, but it's actually still not quite enough. Also, thank you, Invarial, for hopping in while I had to take that phone call.
No problem. With you being back, I'm going to hop out. Have a great night.
Thank you. You have a good one. Alright, so it looks like Tilly is in the cutscene. Prankard has has just made his way out of Lower Norfair, and Aerumnus is out of Dragon and possibly headed towards Plasma? Teamwork makes the dream work. The one thing I'm worried about for Aerumnus is if he actually goes into Plasma, he will soft lock, unless he knows the super tight short charge there at the bottom. Because the pirates in the plasma room can only be harmed by screw attack, speed booster echoes. Certain ones can be by power bombs, but not all of them. Is it only a stutter 2? Even then, a stutter 2 is not super easy, and especially to kill that first one at the bottom, where you have to also put a shot in there to to clip through the hitbox. It's either a stutter 2 or a stutter 3. I'm terrible at short charging in general, so I consider it a very difficult short charge. And Plasma is just some supers. And unfortunately, Aerumnus does not. Going for Powerbomb strats. That will kill off the pink pirates on the walls. But will not. Oh, and there is a reset. I do not know when Aerumnus last saved. Looks like just before Dragon. Alright, so he loses some time, but he doesn't lose an exceedingly large amount of time. Had the previous save been even further back. Tilimorf doing the objectively incorrect thing and saving the animals. It's just objectively wrong. It loses your frames. It puts fusion into cannon, and that's just a terrible idea. And just awful. Galen, we can't use Funtune because Funtune swears a little too much for those of us here at Speedrunners Arena. But a GG to Tilimorf, who has finished in second place with a time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 51 seconds. So definitely GG. And I will see if Tilly wants to come in for an interview. Meanwhile, we've got Aerumnus taking on Dragon again. Gets a nice shining spark through Dragon's forehead. And gets grabbed and looks like he's probably, yep, he's just going to wait it out. Tilimorf can't open Discord until after the credits or his game will freeze, but after that, sure. I'm guessing he must have weird things happen in between them, and I need to change our game audio again.
Me and Prankard are still in it.
Alright, so we've got Aerumnus has murdered the shrimp once again, and knows that Plasma is a dud, just being some super missiles. And then we have Prankard entering Turian. Randomizer, as I like to say, randomizer is the great equalizer. Player audio is very low. Turn that up then.
So now I just want to get.
I unfortunately cannot listen while I commentate because that is not the way I have this set up right now. Alright. Prankard does get grabbed by Metroids in room 2. Oh, and unfortunately gets grabbed again. Oh, Aerumnus has an open mic. My bad. We'll switch over to Prankard then, whose audio seems very low. That's as loud as I can make Prankard's audio. Hopefully nothing untoward was said during that short time frame. Excellent. And Prankard exits Metroid Room 4 with only one super missile shy of max. Let's see, looks like gonna go for the damage down, so not gonna go for baby skip, which not having high jump boots, I totally understand not going for baby skip. I think without high jump boots, it's still possible, but it just doesn't really save any time anymore. Right. Prankard making once again the objectively correct decision and facing right, looking back at all of those frames that he saved. And also saving 40 more of them. I will freely admit I'm not certain what Aerumnus is looking for. Maybe looking for like a screw attack for safety in Lower Norfair, or charge. And we are joined by Tilimorf. GG, Tilly. Oh, I can't hear Tilly. Can you all hear Tilly? Oh wait, Tilly's name is not lighting up in Discord. So. Oh, I heard something.
Hello? Is this working?
Now I can hear Tilly. And we are joined by Tilimorf. GG, Tilly.
GG.
So, I do suggest you watch this one back, just because basically Nasarius made literally every correct decision you could pretty much make routing the seed. Like,
yeah,
just galaxy brained the whole thing.
Based on their time, it kind of... That was pretty fast.
It was. And unfortunately, as much as it looked like the seed was kind of screaming at you to go up Red Tower with all those early E-tanks and the grapple beam and all that, down was really the play. The one thing that was in Wreck Ship, which you unfortunately had to skip, was Space Jump.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits.
At Spooky Missiles. But I think when you made it into Wreck Ship, you only had like one power bomb.
Yes, I had one power bomb, and I was saving it just in case Fantoon didn't drop anything.
Right. But... I mean, and that is the safe play there, because it's rare, but Fantoon sometimes is a jerk and doesn't drop you any power bombs, and then you are just... There you
go. Yeah, so I was playing safe, and definitely going up felt like exactly what you said. It was screaming at me to go up Red Tower, so I gave it a shot, especially with ice being in logic to go up Red Tower.
Yeah, but... I mean, you really had everything that it was screaming at you to go up. And I guess technically, logically, it wanted you to. It wanted you to go up, go to Wreck Ship, get the Space Jump, and then immediately turn around and leave and go to Kraid to pick up the gravity suit, get the wave beam, go back to Big Pink through the wave gate to get the speed booster, and then go to Meridia and pick up the Various suit out of Main Street. If you actually followed the logic, there would have been a ton of backtracking.
Yeah, it was very strange seed. I forgot that speed was actually behind the wave gate. I just knew it was in Big Pink.
Right, yeah. And I guess the other thing I remarked upon very early in the game is, I mean, by the time y'all left Big Pink, y'all had 6 or 7 E-tanks. It was very healthy very early.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, it's rare that you leave Big Pink with 6+ E-tanks, but I think basically all of the runners did, because everybody checked Billy Mays early, and got, I think that was 2 E-tanks, and
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it always sucks to take a loss, but it happens. It was great to watch a rematch of the Mouse Finals from last year.
Yeah. I knew Nasarius would probably have it out for me since I won last time.
Well, if you go back and watch it, listen to the interview with him, because he was nothing but complimentary, because the only reason he went down was because he figured you were going to go up, and he thought to beat you, he had to do something different than what you did.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because it does seem like it was, like we said, screaming to go up.
I mean, it really was, but
yeah.
Meanwhile, sorry, just and the races, and the bottom race here between Aerumnus and Prankard. Prankard has finished off Mother Brain 3 and is in the escape.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Prankard, unfortunately, so kind of took a similar route to you. Did a lot of the Wreck Ship clear and such, and then went down, found the gravity in the Varia, but went to Lower Norfair and then got to Worst Room in the game and realized he didn't have an item to get through Worst Room in the game. So then had to backtrack through Lava Dive and such, go back to Gauntlet and find bombs, because he did peak bombs at Gauntlet, super early, which that just, that obviously all that backtracking just burns a lot of time.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. But yeah. I'll give you the same offer I gave Nasarius. If you've got anything that you'd like to add, by all means, please do. If you want to hang out, feel free. If you're tired of hearing my voice, feel free to leave. You won't hurt my feelings either way.
I guess, last thing want to say, GG Nasarius. I was excited to race you again after, I think we raced, 8 times last year?
It was a lot of
So-
times.
Yeah, so it was good to have another rematch, and I'll see you guys next week for another race.
Well, thank you, Tilly, for joining us. And once again, give these runners a follow. They deserve it. They put on a great show here. They race on the internet for free, and you can definitely give them all a follow. Meanwhile, Prankard has done in 3rd overall place with a time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 23 seconds. 3rd overall within this 4-way, but 1st place within his individual race. So GG. And looks like Aerumnus is going for the Shack tool check. I will freely admit, I'm not certain what Aerumnus is looking for at this point. And when is our next race at 8 or 9? Okay, next race is until 9, so we're not on a time crunch or anything. It must be. I know Charge was at Croc. I don't remember seeing where GT was, or not where GT was, where Screw Attack was. Yeah, Charge was at Grapple, Tilly. Yeah. That is why you should always keep the faith and place your bets on the 8-eyed wonder Crocomire. You know, that's fair, Invarial. That is exactly where GT is. But yeah, I expect Aerumnus has got to be looking for either Charge or Screw. We know where Plasma is. We know where Charge is. I didn't see where Screw was. But it looks like it should be coming up shortly on Prankard's screen. Does Aerumnus not remember picking up Varia? That would be awful. If so, that would be super, super unfortunate. Ammo distribution of 2.5, 2.5, 1.0. That means they were actually on average more power bomb packs in this seed than a normal 331. I just don't know where they all were. And I guess sound-wise, I kind of have two options. I can either switch us to Aerumnus's sound, and we deal with the fact that we're occasionally going to hear some clicking and perhaps some mumbling, or go silent. Screw Attack is at Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I guess my other option is I could put on some background music again, which I guess is probably our best option, just in case the mumbling at some point becomes non-SRA friendly. So let me turn off Prankard sound and turn back on the background music. Yeah, we don't do that here. I'm not putting on the VVVVV soundtrack. We're gonna go back to Super Metroid music at least. And it looks like Prankard has joined the green room, and we are joined by Prankard. GG, Prankard.
Thank you for the GG. Hey.
So I'm going to take you back. You've entered Lower Norfair. You've made it through pillars. You make it to the worst room in the game.
I actually knew before that point that I think for some reason I thought I picked up bombs, or I just completely forgot about worst room in the game. And as I was going down Frog Speedway, and then I was getting just to the point of the lava dive, and at that point I realized I didn't have bombs anymore. I was like, oh no. And then I was like, oh, I've got ice, of course. You know, you can freeze those guys. And then, you know, it might take a bit longer, but, you know, I've done it before. And I'll just, you know, I'm all the way down here now. If I could get through this, I can do Ridley. And then I go there, and I mess up speed pillars, and then they weren't freezing. I was like, why aren't they freezing?
Unfortunately, you do need charge.
Oh, is it charge you need?
Yeah, it's gotta be, you have to have charge ice to freeze them.
Oh, I thought it would be plasma for some reason.
No, I don't think plasma makes it easier. Of course, just doing more damage.
Yeah.
You know, freezing them faster. But no, you can do it because low percent ice. That's how they get through the room.
Right, I see.
Is with just charge ice.
Yeah. So that was one of the many weird things about this race. I think I've just run this whole thing, and I can't remember what I just did. It was a big mess. It was a big blur.
It happens. Nasarius, another person with an N name. Nasarius, our first place finisher in the race. He basically read the seed perfectly. Just galaxy brained the whole thing, and just like you would be hard pressed to, even if you had a spoiler log, you'd have been hard pressed to route it better than he did. It was he did it.
51 was an insane time.
Absolutely. You and Tilimorf took fairly similar routes, going to kind of the wreck ship area first.
Okay.
But Tilly grabbed bombs on his way down from wreck ship, whereas you went all the way back down and then all the way back up, and unfortunately all that backtracking just, you know, takes a little while.
Yeah, I actually didn't do wreck ship first. I did I thought I got quite lucky. I managed to find what we found: gravity in wave beam room, the right side hopper room. And then after that, I went to Kraid and defeated Kraid. And then I decided on a whim, oh, I mean, Meridia, the beginning bit Meridia is in logic, and we've got grapples, so I could do the first 3 checks. And then there I found Varia on the right side of the wall in no, it was in the I just did a random speed short charge, and then went up in Meridia and found Varia.
You are right, and I'm glad you remember your routing better than I do, because, you know, 4 runners all taking slightly different routes.
Yeah,
it gets very.
It still was hazy for me as well, and I did it, so that's fair.
No, that's right. You took a fairly similar route to Nasarius, just didn't Galaxy Brain high jump boots at Ice Beam.
Yes, I did see that in the spoiler log. Yeah, so after I failed miserably at getting past the worst room in the game, which I think before that I was tempted to save, and if I had, I could have easily reset, but I didn't. In hindsight, oh well. But after that, I wanted to make a couple checks in Norfair, and I was going to check the top left, like the Norfair reserves, to see if I could grab another movement item to try and get through that room in worst room in the game, just before going all the way up to wreck ship and where new bombs were, which was the one item I knew I didn't have to hunt around for. But I just couldn't get up with speed and was too arrogant to pause the menu to unequip speed booster, and and I decided, all right, well, let's just go to bombs. I know bombs is there in all the way up and wreck ship. Let's just do that, and so I did the walk of shame back up from Norfair all the way up.
Yeah, but hey, you beat your opponent, which is the important part.
Yeah, what happened? Take me back. What happened with how do you pronounce
I think it's Aerumnus is what I've
Aerumnus.
been saying.
Okay.
And I think that matches with the pronunciation guide. So what Aerumnus did, Aerumnus did not do early wave gate, and so it didn't have speed. Went up, cleared most, if not all, of Wreck Ship, then went down, found gravity, went to Meridia, found Varia, but didn't have speed, and then basically cleared everything except Wavegate prior to going back to Wavegate to find Speed Booster.
Oh, that's unlucky.
It is. And as I've said many a time, randomizer's the great equalizer. You forget or just decide to not do a single check, and that can drastically change how a seed goes for you.
Yeah, I really thought I was behind through, just straight after I messed up and was back. And forgetting the logic that I needed an item to get through a room. That I thought was probably the game, or like at least very close to it. That I had to do the rest of the seed really well.
Yeah, and then since you've not done, we're fairly certain Aerumnus has been searching for Charge Beam, which we know due to the spoiler log that it's at Croc, and has just now made it to Gold Terizo with the vanilla way to GT, which is not something you see super often. But if you've got the space jump, you can always check that item.
Yeah, you can peek it, right? You can't actually grab it though.
Right, but if you have space jump, you can go ahead and go the vanilla way. If you're planning on fighting GT either way, it's I think actually a little faster to go ahead and go the vanilla way. And just missiles at screw attack. Of course, I think at this point we know where. Well, I've seen 3 spoiler logs now, so I think I know basically where all the missing items are. Screw was at Mickey Mouse. Charge was at Grapple, and I think those are the only 2 we didn't see someone on stream pick up. But yeah. So, but GG, welcome to the 2 and 3 club.
Thank you. That was close to being the 1 and 4 club, which is just on the edge of the bracket where you can't get back into Rat again.
That is correct. Once you get 4 losses, you are just no longer eligible at all for the Rat bracket, barring weird specific circumstances of admin discretion. But that's mostly for, if somehow a Zeb or a Sloders came in and lost a bunch of races on weird plays, we don't want to put them in mouse bracket to just wreck people. That is no disrespect to all of our mouse runners. It's just, you're talking about Sloders and Zeb, who is our reigning grand champion.
I mean, mouse is still fun.
Oh,
mouse
no
is
doubt.
hard as well, yeah.
Mouse this
I have
year
respect for mouse.
I will say all of our runners, both new and returning this year, we've really seen, a real step up in gameplay. Really. Mouse is going to be full of some heavy hitters are not going to make it into Rat, and Mouse is going to be an interesting place to be.
Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's so much new or rise in talent?
I don't know. Maybe just more races. I will say this year, I think we have fewer first-time racers than we've had in the previous years. We do have some first-timers, but I think we have fewer. And then if you've already spent a year, learning the logic and practicing tricks and whatnot, obviously, your skill level is going to go up. And then if that happens, if almost everybody in the tournament has been doing that for at least a year, just the average skill level you figure should go up.
Yeah, and I guess that there will be a ceiling, a plateau, so it'll be easier for the mouse people to get better than it is for Rat people to get much better.
Right. When you're at the absolute top of the game, it's a lot harder to get a little bit better then when you're first starting out, your PBs and whatnot. When you first start speedrunning, your PBs, they come like water. You get a new PB almost every time you run, just because you're getting used to the process. And then as you go deeper and deeper into it, they become harder and harder to get.
Yeah, you're talking seconds rather than minutes.
Right.
PB improvements.
Whereas in the beginning, your first 80% PB for, I assume, most people is probably an hour and 20 minutes or more. I don't even know, honestly. I don't remember my first 80% completion because I was like 12 at the time or something.
So I ran the game much later than I was 12. I think I only ran it like a few years ago as my first time ever. And I think my first time where I actually tried to beat it in a certain time was, I think, at like an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Yes, it was quite a long time. And then ever since then, I've been trying to get under an hour.
Yeah. I don't run 80% vanilla, so I actually have kind of no idea. And it looks like Aerumnus has forfeited from the race. Which is unfortunate, but also... Aerumnus soft-locked, ran out of power bombs in Wasteland.
Oh.
That is unfortunate.
I didn't see him save recently either.
I'm not sure the last time he saved. It might have been actually right before Dragon. But it looks like he's going to join us. You are, of course, Prankard. Welcome to stick around for that interview if you want to have a chat with your opponent.
I'll wish him some GGs. I'll stay in the background for a bit.
You're good. I'll only pull him up from the green room. And we are joined by Aerumnus. GG Aerumnus, that is an unfortunate soft lock there in Wasteland.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say about that. Just don't have ammo.
I understand. I think all of us that have run randomizers, or, well, I guess the vanilla game is less likely because there's always power bombs there. But all of us that have run randomizers have soft locked at least once in Wasteland. I know I have.
I know I have as well.
This is my first time soft locking there.
Well, it's a rite of passage then. So you, let's see, your route, you went up to Wreck Ship, did basically a full clear up there, then went down, went to Kraid, found the gravity suit there, went up into Meridia. I assume it's hard to keep track of 4 runners at once. I assume you saw the Varia suit fairly early in Meridia?
Early in Meridia, yeah.
Okay.
But I went and did Kraid. I mostly cleared Brinstar. I went to Wrecked Ship a bit after.
Oh, so you did Kraid before you went to Wrecked Ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, my apologies.
No, it's all good.
Keep track of 4 is
Yeah.
not easy. Okay, yeah, and then you went up. Yeah, you went up to Wreck Ship, did a full clear there. Then spent some time in Meridia, saw Varia, but didn't have speed at the time.
You know how that happened was I went to Batu and I tried to ice clip, and I failed. So I went on a hunt for a speed booster. Found that at the wave room in Big Pink.
Right.
And then, as I was going up to Batoon again, I saw Varia. I was like, oh no.
Okay, so that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after you defeated Dragon, you did quite a few more checks. Was there a particular thing you were looking for?
Charge beam.
Charge. Okay. I've seen, I guess, a couple of spoiler logs at this point. It was at Grapple.
It was at
Crocomire.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's why you gotta always bet on Croc.
Always Bardic and Croc, yeah.
I knew it was Croc. The one time I don't check Croc.
On seeds that I roll, you should always check Croc. He's always got the goods. No, but yeah. So okay, we kind of we assumed that it was charge you were looking for at that point.
Yeah, that was the only thing.
You were the only runner to find screw attack. None of the other runners checked Mickey Mouse. And yeah, that, I mean, like I said, it's just that is an unfortunate soft lock there in Wasteland, but
When you're
most
missing
of us that have
charge,
run,
anything is possible.
yeah. But yeah, Prankard, if you've got anything, any comments, or if you two want to chat for a minute.
Yeah, I just want to wish you a good GG. I know you soft locked, and that's unfortunate, but well played up until that point.
Yeah, well played from you too.
Thanks. It was a very interesting seed.
Yeah, interesting's the word.
I don't roll boring seeds. I roll troll seeds and jet seeds. Those are your two options.
I think it was kind of a jet seed in if you knew where to go. If you was it Nasarius who was yeah. If you Nasarius was a jet seed.
If you happen to route right.
Which apparently Nasarius did
Yep.
blindingly amazing. Yeah.
Pretty
very
much,
well.
Darius just he cosmic brained the whole seed, and yeah, he made all of the right checks. It was. I mean, obviously, you don't get a 5104 making a whole lot of bad checks.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Aerumnus, any other thoughts or comments on the seed, or on any of this?
I had one like a minute ago, but now I can't remember.
That is, yeah, it can be hard to keep track of all of that.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably start looking for someone to raid once we're done, because that's a thing I should probably do.
Maybe you should.
Okay, I've got somebody. So yeah, so if you two don't have any more thoughts or anything, we'll go ahead and sign off for the evening. I have been the Cheese Reaver. Please do follow these runners; they deserve it. They put on a good show for us. They race on the internet for free, for your entertainment. So you should at least give them a follow. You can follow me if you really want to, but I wouldn't suggest it. Please do follow our tracker, Remock Tourist, though. He deserves it. And yeah, from everyone at Speedrunners Arena, make sure I spell this right. Yeah, just making sure I'm spelling things right. But yeah, from everyone here at Speedrunners Arena, we will see you next mission. And we'll be back in about an hour and 15 minutes with another four-way. We've got Bressingham versus Phoenix Down and Chex Human versus Niterific. So, take part in that. But like I said, see you all next mission.